I got to admit, when I first saw the title for Drive Angry, I thought this is just a fun little sequel title for a Nicolas Cage Gone in 60 Seconds sequel. Then I finally read about the film. It's like, man, this is a different kind of film altogether. What attracted you to, first of all, this type of a film and then the character that you're playing?
Well, you know, the very first time that I read the script was last October, and you know, it was kind of, I remember it was kind of a slow period, and I was like, oh man, there's nothing interesting going on, and I'm not working right now. And then I got the script one day, and I sat down and I finished it, and I was like, oh, wow. And yes, it's exciting and all this wild stuff and crazy characters and deep and grungy and tough and sexy and hard. But on top of all of that, and the one thing you really didn't get in the clip, because you can't really get it. Listen, today was the first day that I saw anything that had anything to do with the film. I don't really watch playback. I don't really like doing it. I don't like watching myself. I like doing it. Just don't really care to watch it. But today, when I watched this, I was so excited about what was happening on that screen for that 2 minutes. The stuff with the cars was like that alone. It was like, I got to see this film. But what you didn't get in that clip today is Nicholas and Amber and Billy, everybody, even smaller characters, the babysitter and Man in Leather, all these wild, freaky characters. Everybody's driven by like emotional reasons that are powerful to them, and that is the story has this amazing heart. It really does. Nick's like he figured out a way how to get the hell out of hell, which doesn't happen often, and that's where my character comes into play, the accountant. You know, someone has to, you know, be responsible for the accountability of who's there, and you can't go. And if you go, I'm going to fine you, and you have to go back.
Where is she?
You're too late. First full moon. She's dead, and hell's going to walk the earth.
Hell already is walking the earth.
Such a cool character name too. Like I remember reading about the accountant. Like it just scares me right off the bat. Tell me a little bit about this character of yours.
He doesn't have a calculator. It's not that kind of an accountant. The most exciting thing about the accountant to me is, and I had so much fun in the 2 months building up to shooting the film, because there is no reference point for a guy like this. I mean, what do you want to do with it? You know, was he alive at one point? Yeah, I think he was. Then he got a job in hell. And he's good at it. Maybe that's why he got the job in the first place. Maybe he did something like that here. But this is the sort of thought process that you can go through with a guy like this. And I would say to Patrick, you know, the very first time we see him, he's walking on this road and he walks up to this waitress outside of out of a diner in the beginning of the film. Well, you know, going on the assumption that at one time he really was human. Boy, it's been a long time. How long do you think it's been since he's been here? Since the last guy that got out. Doesn't happen that often. Let's say it's 10 or 15 years. He hasn't seen a woman in 10 or 15 years. Very cool. Hasn't heard music in 10 or 15 years. Hasn't done this. Everywhere he goes, it's like you could go on and on with that sort of like reasoning and headspace, thinking about stuff like that. And we used to think about it all the time. And what about that? Patrick would say, and I'm like, oh, what about this? So hopefully we, you know, along the way, you find those moments. Just find the moments of like, do whatever you want to do.
They killed my daughter. They took her baby. I am going to get her back.
What was the most, I mean, you're looking at a film like this that has a lot of action and a lot of fun characters. What was the most enjoyable part for you of making this film?
Not to give anybody any lip service, but you know, the truth about it is that there isn't anyone that I ever worked with that's like Patrick. There's no drama with Patrick. There's no ego-driven anything. It's all an enthusiastic approach and a gratefulness to make something that he deeply cares about. And that goes with Todd, too, who was there every day. Todd Farmer, his co-writer. And every day to come from that place was a unique joy that I have never had quite like that. Every day that I would, and of course, you know, when the accountant does show up, each scene is unique and super cool. So, you know, I had a lot of time off. You know, I'd work 2 days, we'd do a scene. I had a week off, and I went home. I spent as much time at home as I did in Shreveport, because when I have little ones, and every time I get a break, I'm out. And I was going, and these guys were great about working out, doing a couple of episodes of Entourage along the way while we were shooting it. But every time I would get back, and today we're going to shoot that scene, and there just wasn't a day that was like, oh yeah, I just got that little piece to do today. Every little piece, every time, every day that we had a scene was exciting for me.
Well, listen, William, the movie looks incredibly cool. We can't wait to see it in our local AMC theaters. Congratulations on the film. We can't wait to see you in it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks so much.
Take care.